For me, the humble roundabout tells us about the circle of life. We come on to the roundabout. We exit the roundabout, but we always go around. The traffic control system is my muse.
For him, the roundabout represents the constant circle of life with its circular motion, equaling history repeating, or sometimes the feeling of déjà vu. His work is reminiscent of Kevin Beresford from Redditch, nicknamed the dullest man in Britain by the press. The man who made a roundabout calendar for 2022, curated from thousands of photographs. He is not the only one obsessed with these junctions. In the USA, we have Paul Reifer, and in Hungary, we have Milan Radisics, all masters in their own way.
It's also what's placed on the center of the roundabout that I find fascinating. Whether it's provided by the local council or sponsored by business. All facets of life are represented here. Life, death, war, sex. Those ideas evolve while we revolve.
Travis Carter is fascinated by the objects placed upon the circle, and through his lens, he saw life and death, sex and war. Mostly sex, though. The first time I saw Travis Carter's work was at one of his exhibitions for Time of the Signs, Sign of the Times, an exploration into man's obsession with signs and how soon they become obsolete or irrelevant. I have been following his work closely ever since.
I'm really looking forward to tonight's talk. It's been quite a while since I've shown off any of my artwork, but it should be a good night. This interesting piece of signage, well, at any time, but obscured by a strange adhesive label, which is quite unusual. But what are we saying with this? What's the row of 5 bricks that are new? They contrast with the older brickwork, and they're facing a different way. So is it we can build anything anytime? What does it exactly mean? I don't know. I suppose it's up to the viewer to make up their own mind. A sign with absolutely nothing on it, no information whatsoever. What's important about this, though? I think that its nothingness is important. We're drawn to look at it, but what is it? One might be mistaken to think it's some kind of maintenance panel for the adjacent garage door. But I don't think that's the case. It's merely saying, look at me. I'm nothing. So, a small advertising placard, which is to be found in a disused toilet facility, no doubt there were posters there, and we can see the remnants of where those advertisements or posters were. But what were they for? What was this selling us? At the moment, it doesn't seem to be selling us anything. Maybe they were for the nearby club or the nearby bar, or perhaps they were for some other thing that a man might want from their local toilet facility. This is extremely interesting. A bus stop, of course, and we can see signs all around, like a local housing your future sign there. But what does this mean exactly? It's so heavily defaced. There's a grain about it, a kind of dystopian corruption about it that tells us something about social decay in our modern times, and how transportation for the everyday man is somewhat of a haunting experience. Yes, there are a number of these telecommunications cupboards around. You'll see them regularly on the streets of Great Britain, and this one has been used to advertise a musical act, and it's been kind of left there, but somebody at some point has come along, or the elements perhaps even, have peeled the one corner away. But perhaps, like, their opinion of the artist depicted on there, they are kind of half-hearted approach to tearing the thing off. It's not really, let's just peel it away slightly and see what's underneath, even though we know what that is, the green cabinet. So, an interesting sign located near a park, and there were some children playing near it. Well, I say they were children, they weren't quite that young, maybe in their adolescent years with their grey tracksuits and such like. But yes, the paradox of this sign was that no motorcycles, you can't really see it very well there, but these youngsters had a motorcycle there, and they were revving it, and it was kind of like the size of a lawnmower. But they weren't mowing the lawn. No horses and no golf. So, what's this really telling us? Class struggle, my friends. Class struggle. Again, another park sign, ensconced next to a gate. Now then, we're talking about the prohibition of something, but we don't know what that is. So what is banned from here? We know that it's a criminal offense, whatever it is, given the topography of the area and the let's say, eco-social feel of that place. Likely prostitution is prohibited. Caution, oncoming vehicles. Now then, what the discerning viewer will see about this is, it says, yes, there's caution to oncoming vehicles, but the vehicles are actually parked. They're not oncoming at all. It's an anomaly of sorts. A kind of sign that's been just dropped there without consideration. It's been misused, abused even. It's meaningless just being there because it's serving no purpose whatsoever other than getting in the way. Please do not move this sign, which is on a sign. So, which sign do we not move? That's the question. Is it the sign that says, please do not move this sign, which is on a piece of A4 printer paper? Or is it the sign that the sign is on? This is an interesting artifact on the side of the road. The most interesting thing is it's been filled with drafts. I believe it to be a notice board for the nearby church. So why they've used draft across the notifications there, which are many, is unknown. It's I suppose the strangeness of this is you're drawn to the word draft rather than the actual text itself. Yes, so here we have a sign which is supposed to denote to a road. However, as you can see, there is no actual text. It is the rusted frame that would have held the sign. This is really a piece of important work for me because where are we, essentially? People give names to places, but why? Why can't every sign be like this? Why can't we just be nowhere? Why can't we have peace? Again, another sign which lacks any graphic or text whatsoever. This probably is a sign for a speed camera device, which is used, and for my American friends out there, you won't often see these speed cameras, but they are coming. Yes, but the thing seems to be scoured away by the elements, and also the large pole is being grabbed, embraced by the bush behind it. It's almost like it's trying to pull it off of the street. It doesn't want it there. Nature doesn't want it there. A typical English bus stop sign. The important thing about this is it shows no route. We don't know where we're going. We don't know where we are. We just know that eventually a bus might come. It might arrive. Now then, this is another one of those cases where the sign is in an entirely inappropriate area. It says waiting area quite clearly, but if someone were to take this literally, they would just wait in amongst these small bushes, where they'll likely be attacked by ticks. Extra special mammoth. Some haphazard wording there, perhaps, on this, what looks like a sign for a tennis court or some other such thing. What is it telling us? Is it an advertisement of some description? I don't know. I couldn't tell you. A extra special mammoth. Who knows what this is about? Perhaps we aren't supposed to know. We should be braced by the activity. We've got the chevron signs, but the main center of the piece is the frog, looking at birth and rebirth. The frog safe on its pad.
Here we are at the actual roundabout. We see nature and sex, the frog ready to leap into the unknown in its search for the partner, ready to procreate. And dare I say, the lily pad looks clearly like the vagina.
See the angular buttresses shown beneath the skeletal frame of this aeroplane, showing man's conquest for the air through flight. Really quite staggering and soaring.
Here at the actual roundabout, looking more impressive in real life, we see the aeroplane with its rusty and rotting base, the inability to fly, its naked undercarriage and phallic shape, showing once again man wanting to thrust into the air.
The triumph over good and evil, and a celebration of a local hero is depicted here in this wonderful centerpiece.
Man's constant battle with himself, his neighbours and people who don't speak English, the futility of war, and although history repeats itself, we never learn. And just look at how he grasps his weapon.
This, which I've entitled Sticks and Stones, due to the three sticks, the bollards there, and the large round South American tribal stones in the center. It's a modern sculpture, really looking into the future.
Here we see man's obsession with an erection. I see nothing else.
The cleverness of these three islands made out of chevron bricks. Traffic can come in from multiple directions and leave likewise. No need for traffic lights here. It's simple but beautiful.
This three-ring circus highlights man's inability to organise with its haphazard layout and ugliness, an accident waiting to happen. And where is the artwork, the colour and form? They are non-existent. For me, the roundabouts here are impotent.
This larger-than-life metal insect is really speaks to us about nature, the man's struggle with it, and global warming, and what insects also do for man, such as providing honey.
How frightening to see a bee of this proportion. It's like something from a Godzilla movie. And the bee itself, with its pollination, a metaphor for sex. Or maybe we can look further to the queen bee, the lone female in an orgy of male pollination, rubbing their grubby little legs with yellow powder in a sexualized dance, chanting, "Will you be my honey?"
It's not what's on the center of this one which is important. It's how it's been utilized, which is more essential here. This is one of the oldest roundabouts in the UK. But there is an underground subway system and a park, which is nicely ensconced beneath this piece of metropolitan art.
Known as the Bear Pit, this sunken island shows man's depression rather than elevation. The tunnels also representing the multiple vaginas, the people literally coming through them like newly born or roundabout users.
And here we are. This is wonderful. We've got the diggers on the roundabouts raiding the earth, essentially. But at the same time, it's almost as if the swan has come out of the ground and it's exalted into the heavens. Surely an impressive sight indeed.
Some may say this is the phoenix rising out of the flame, the red flowers representing the flame. My interpretation is that it is a swan being born from the blood of birth.
We spoke to Travis about our documentary to see if he would make a comment on it, and he said that Lady Cressida was making a mockery of his art.
While I respect Lady Cressida and her opinions and her knowledge of art, I think she's reading far too much into my work and doesn't fully understand it. Frankly, she's making a mockery of it, and I don't know where this comes from. If, let's say, perhaps I had a piece which was about a roundabout, which was a Britain in Bloom roundabout, you know, with all the flowers, and I was saying, I feel that this represents me driving my hot rod around these warm petals, then I would understand where she's coming from. But really what she said is completely uncalled for. And that's all I have to say.
This is a typical response from a voyeuristic master at the height of his career, and I respect him for his honesty, even though he is wrong.
Many photographers rely on large amounts of equipment, special lenses, but I found on my travels on the highways and byways that the Samsung S85 8 megapixel camera is more than sufficient for the capturing the things that I wish to show. The really quite subdued flash of it, the exposure that it brings, it provides a somewhat grainy and distorted picture, an end result, which is important because once I take the piece, I don't want to adjust it in any way using any kind of technical software. It is as it is, and this little gem is the thing that does the work. Pure, simple, adaptable.